welcome back, everyone. Kind of an impromptu stream tonight. I wasn't really planning on streaming Yellow and playing for the next few days since I've been busy, but as it turns out tonight, I guess I have like an hour and a half or so to spare. So we'll see if we can how far we get through with this league. Um, the list is close to what I think I streamed last week. Um, Main deck, I think it might even be identical. The sideboard is a little bit different. I have a fifth discard spell in Duress. I also changed my disenchants effects to Nature's Claim. The idea is that it's twofold. One, I think Nature's Claim actually is better for our deck than Force of Vigor because at the end of the day, we're still critical mass deck, and not having to pitch a card is pretty relevant. The strike about Nature's Claim in the past has been that it cannot answer Chalice of the Void and Counterbalance, like both cards were issued like years ago. The difference now is we already have Allosaurus Shepherd. Counterbalance is not really part of the metagame anymore. Chalice of the Void still is, but the other thing about that is a lot of the Chalice of the Void decks will board out Chalice of the Void against us because of Allosaurus Shepherd and because they don't want to fall behind on the board. I know Initiative does that, and I think some Moon Stompy players do that. Obviously, 8 cast and some of these like Mystic Forge decks will probably still keep Chalice in against you. Guess it depends on the personal preference, but that's kind of the logic behind that. And then finally, the second point, besides being better, I think, for our deck now than it was maybe years ago, is similar to Duress. I think I just want better mapping against 4/5C control because we just have a lot of dead cards game one against it. Like, I don't think Endurance is good. Oof, that's already 5 cards, right? Uh, I don't even love Crop Rotation or Bajuka Bog because I think we just want to be a combo deck against it. I don't think they can stop. Like, I don't think their deck is geared towards beating the combo or just combo decks in general. So we want to just lean into that. If we get into the situation where like Bog matters because of Earl, I think we're gonna lose anyways. So that's kind of the logic. I don't know. Maybe the logic's flawed, but we'll see. Zane. I think Zane is a local. I don't know what they're on lately. I saw like something about them maybe on 8cast the other day, but that was like a few days ago. I haven't played in like 3 to 4 days. Um, so they wish me luck, so that's pretty nice of them. But yeah, I haven't played in like 3 days. It so we'll see. Again, I wasn't even, to be honest, expecting to play tonight. It just so turned out that like an hour freed up of my time. So it looks like they might be on 8cast. We'll see. Aurora could be a few different decks. 8cast being one of them. Although it's strange, they don't have a turn one play, so maybe not. Um, I'm kind of tempted just to waste here. In case they're on a show and tell or something. I figured going for the free win is probably worth it there, but I could be wrong. So they're gonna have a construct here. Um, I wonder how good like collector oof even is here. Oh, that's even better. Natural collector oof. I think we just like go shepherd into oof now. Uh, Obviously we're gonna have to deal with a construct, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. It's gonna be pretty big. We take a few shots. I don't think it'll be like care right now. There's there's a belief that maybe we're supposed to just like not waste that auto aura. I'm just kind of playing as if I don't know what my opponent's on. Like that is a card that I think I don't forget if Show and Tell plays it or not. I feel like they do. I feel like you just if you can, you just go for the free win, right? Fiend Artisan, alright, sure. I think here we're just gonna try to like eat as much as possible. We go to 12. I think we can take even a second attack before it starts to matter. One nice thing about the delaying our I think we just bash here to be honest. There's no way we're attacking with we're blocking with the oof anyways. And I don't think the automaton can get past the reclaimer regardless. Hey Jared, how's it going? Okay, what am I doing here? We don't want to play the arbor. The question here is like, do we play the reclaimer or do we play the artisan? I think we play the artisan just to be more mana. Well, see, the thing is like if they bash here, we could have lethal on the crackback. The problem is like if we green sun here and don't hit, then that's kind of problematic as well. I think the upside is higher with this. Just pass. We could threaten the double block if need be. Sure. The automaton not being able to block here is key. I think their clock needed to be faster. We're gonna. That's actually a pretty good draw. I think I bash for 4 here. We're gonna rotate here for Cradle. It should be game, but so they play just to trigger the automaton. Presumably maybe a follow-up even play here. We'll see. They should attack with a construct. Interesting. Um, do we block here? What could they possibly have? I think we do. I don't think they have like graveyard hate game one, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. All right. We have a bunch of dead cards. That's one like good and bad thing I think about endurance. Um, you get some free wins because it's just like random force of will against some decks. Against other decks, very little text aside from being a 3 mana flash creature. According to my map here, the endurances come out. Obviously, I want the Nature's Claim. A little awkward if they have Chalice, but and Invigorate actually lines up really well against Dismember on Collector Oof. Most of our cards like don't do anything, so I think we just like bring it in as a way to high roll. Bog doesn't do anything here to me either. I guess that I don't think the Bog's gonna matter in this matchup. Snuff Out's actually awkward in this matchup because the way they board now is they keep in the Automaton, and that card is I don't want to spend mana to kill their stuff. Between the flex lands or the Gris, I feel like the Gris probably has higher ceiling. Just go with that. I don't love the crop actually, but too late. There's a chance the crop should be. I was gonna say there's a chance the crop should be. I think we're gonna mulligan this. Like we have two cards that don't do anything. This matchup. This is a lot better. Keep Cradle is not great, but it like could be relevant down the road. But presumably we're just gonna draw what we need. And not worry about like having a big green sun later on. So we got a Dell of Secrets on the other side, and a sword even better than that. Jesus. The closer a deck is to like Belcher, I guess, how far it is on the Belcher scale, the harder the matchup. Because the problem is like you can't really outplay those decks. It's just like whoever opens well kind of wins. What it does is that it normalizes the win rates closer to 50% on both sides. Sure. Maybe Emery's reason to leave in like some snuff out. It's not great though. We're at 14. It's got a couple more league. I mean not leagues. We have a couple more turns. I think we'll lead with this and see what happens. So here, we have like our stuff is protected now. And depending if they tap out, I didn't feel like I wanted to go for collector oof there because if it gets countered, it's kind of bad for us. And not to mention we're like kind of behind. I wanted to double spell that turn for more mana. Sure. Hmm. So what do we lose to here? Maybe removal into force or like mystical not mystical dispute the counter spell for what's called metallic rebuke. We don't have well, we could, but it's a little bit dicey. If they have removal, so we lose. If we go for the hoof, I think it makes sense to go for Atraxa here. This plays around removal. If for some reason they like remove one thing on the stack, then we like lose. I don't think we can afford that. I don't know if they have like borrower echoing true. There's like something potentially to play around. I'm not even sure we play around it to be honest. Um, so here, if they have a bounce on the hook, we probably just lose. If they have a bounce on the tracks, we probably lose anyways. Let's see. This is probably safe. Nature's Claim is pretty good here. Land. Reclaimer. I think we'll just pass. I guess what we're doing is daring them to beat the. We're daring them to beat the Atraxa. Sure. I don't think that matters. They know about the Nature's Claim. Alright, let's see if. Obviously, in this matchup, Force of Vigor is better because you can just like hit two different things. But all right. Oops. All right. I tried to respond. I couldn't in time to my opponent. They wished me good, having a good weekend. So nice of them. All right, so that played out pretty well. One thing I think that is like useful from that takeaway from that match is, uh, 8 cast is one of the matches where Force of Vigor is better than Nature's Claim because there's a decent chance to keep in Chalice. Maybe they boarded out. I don't know what their current boarding plan is, but it's one of the few matches where you probably can hit two items, and both of which are probably okay, medium to good value. A lot of these other matches, why I like the Nature's Claim is because you only have one target. Um, for example, Sneak and Show, you're probably just gonna care about their sneak attack. Sometimes Grafdigger's Cage, rarely both. Um, against I don't know. I'm trying to think what other matches like against Control. You want to hit Leyline Binding and not for 4 mana. I don't think you're. The other thing is like against Dress Down, they will often try to dress down in response to your natural order for Atraxa. So that's a pretty nice counterplay for 1 mana. Um, like little things like that, I guess. Against Moonstompy, there's an argument for Disenchant, but I don't love it. Like I feel like now you just fall behind against these zombie decks. I don't know what they're on. The 7 like attracts as a blank, but the 6 is like reasonable. I think I'll just keep and we'll YOLO it. I could regret this keep, but we'll see. I think that is like one thing I've tried for a long time to improve with our deck. Unlike some of the other combo decks that have brainstorm to put away their combo pieces, we don't have that luxury. Sorry. So sometimes, like, well, not sometimes, a lot of times, you get stuck with like an Atraxa or a Hoof in your hand. Um, and while I have cast Atraxa off, Noble Hierarch mana, it is definitely in the minority of cases. I think ever since I went to 4 Noble Hierarchs, I do it. I mean, it depends how often I play too, but like, I haven't played as much recently, and I want to say in the last month I've maybe cast it twice. That's like, off the top of my head. I don't remember exactly. I think we just have a dork here. Take the next best thing, I guess. Our hand is a little shaky now. Namely, if they kill our Arbor, we don't have a turn to play, which is like really awkward. And our 1-drop count is like pretty high in this deck, so it was in the minority of cases that to hit a 1-drop off the Once Upon a Time there. Looks like we're playing against some kind of combo deck or initiative. 8 cast maybe. Ooh, okay. This Atraxa now looks pretty good. All right. We don't have the. We take the Green Sun. We take probably the Cradle. Question here is like, probably the Bayou actually, in case we naturally draw the thing. So we can either Green Sun here for Chris, or we can Endurance mana. Okay, that's 2. Yeah, I think we want. I think we want definitely the endurance for the mana. So we're gonna force through our. I think we lose to exactly force here. We need to not draw the thing too. All right, we're gonna force through the natural order, and then we're gonna tick down. If they want, they can trade here too. I don't think that's very smart for them. And we'll just do something else if they trade. I don't think they can afford to trade. If they trade, like, that's very good for me. All right. I think now we're gonna go pitch. Try this. Now it's protected. I think the only thing we lose to here is force. So like, we just play it safe. They wanted to block. Like we're more than happy to block. Then we don't even need to do this. And tell me they have another one. Sure. Okay. I think my only fear was that somehow they have like the exact, show and tell attracts again. But even then, I don't even know if that's enough. Pretty much, right? Whoever puts attracts into play wins, right? All right. What are we doing here? Like, what am I scared? Oh, I pitched the thing. I don't think. Do they want to force this? I don't think we care. I think we're putting in that. All right. As long as we don't die. Oh. All right. I might have just like punted there. That cuts off ancient 2 mana, but I like clicked through it. Probably doesn't matter. I wouldn't have to sweat if I didn't misclick there. Also, nice job, Max, on your. I didn't watch. I was busy today, but for those who don't know, Wonder Pro here, Max Carini, played in the Magic Online Championship earlier today. I think he went three. I think he went 2-1 in at least the vintage cube, and then I don't know about modern, but I think I saw he might have been top four, which is nice. So we have that shared now. Obviously, it's been a few years since I played mine, but we what we share in common is we both qualify via legacy, so that's pretty cool. All right, put this here. Put the nature's claim that we talked about earlier in. Five discard spells. Obviously, our deck is a little softer to Doomsday now because of Leyline of Sanctity. Duress doesn't help that, but if you know your opponent is on Leyline of Sanctity, Nature's Claim is something to consider. Sometimes, depending on your map, like Invigorate can come in, and then you just like represent extra Fire Blasts in your deck, but otherwise, it's not. Could be a little slow depending on what they have. No Bog. I don't think this is a layer matchup. I don't even. Let me check how I board. It's been a while. No Collector Oof and no Reclaimer. I think it's a little slow. Hmm. So we're gonna go to 5 or have a turn 2 discard. I think we just keep and hope that's fast enough. They don't. I mean, they have the turn 2. They have the turn 2. Like we were kind of lucky game 1 to be honest. Like the Atraxa ended up being pretty clutch. Interesting. I think we're gonna play around Pierce here, just cause. Um, or Fluster. Sure. I'm a little bit nervous now. I feel like we kind of have to. I feel like we could be walking into a Pyroclasm, but like, actually, I think I'm gonna pass in case they Pyroclasm here. I actually don't even know if they still play that card, but I think they have to respect the Reclaimer. And we do have lethal next turn. Show and tell? Sure. I think I put the land in case they put in Fury. Okay, I did not. Jesus, did not expect that. Almost a blessing maybe? Kill that, discard this. We still can have attracts the next turn. Um, but we lose to days now. It's a forced play here. They have it. They have it. Wow. Okay. I think it still attracts it, right? Like we have to sack a creature. We can sack the ignoble and just draw like a bunch right here. Once that land and probably artisan. Yeah, I think that's the play here. And just pass turn. I don't know why they're playing Archon of Cruelty. I don't think like the stock list runs that, but that's neither here nor there. I would trust Jonathan Anilescu, JPA 93, with respect to the list. He's the one that has probably the most reps and highest win rate with the deck. So my decision to wait played out pretty well, holding the higher because while I wasn't playing around Archon of Cruelty, it worked out in my favor. Really, I was just playing around a sweeper because I don't think they can allow me to untap with that kind of mana. It's something that is pretty relevant against all the Fury slash Pyrokinesis decks. Like knowing, like if you were your opponent, what are you scared of and what are you playing around? And I think they're forced to sweep if you see that board state. So just having that in mind is pretty relevant. I don't think well, they could attack for the extra draw, but we'll see. If they show until here, we put in the artisan. I think that's, we slam that. They attack, they lose their Archon, but then maybe they need to draw one deeper. So it could be a force attack on their side. And they know natural orders in hand. So it might be a force attack. Let's see. No, they didn't do it. Okay. We could have lethal here, depending what our opponent does. I think here we're playing for lethal, so we're gonna pitch the Reclaimer anyways. It's a must force. Maybe it's a fluster. Yeah. That was what I was afraid of. Um, what I was looking to do was dig for the Allosaur Shepherd to force the natural order through. We played around earlier. They might have already had it, but And I didn't count. It's possible we could have just played around the fluster there, but then we lose the force. Should be game. Okay. All right. 2-0 so far. I'm gonna take a quick restroom break. All right. Let's go to match number 3, I guess. I jokingly call tonight's stream the Mercadian Mass Temple. Full disclosure, I could be wrong about certain things because I didn't actually play during Mercadian Mass. When it comes to age, I'm like not. I'm closer to a boomer Magic player, but when it comes to actually following the, I wouldn't like more competitive scene, I guess. I'm closer to like a Zoomer. I'm in that weird group. All right, just a bunch of nonsense here in the opening hand, so cut them all. Hey, Demosian, how's it going? Yeah, so like it was a pseudo joke that we're playing Mercadian Mass Temp over here because we're playing all the free spells from Mercadian Mass, right? Uh, namely, namely, Snuff Out, and then more recently, it's been about a month and a half now. It's gonna be 2 months pretty soon. The addition of Invigorate has just been huge for this deck. It's good against the mono red decks. Speaking of which, I think we're playing against Painter. Not 100% sure though. Hey, Adriano. Love seeing you here. I know, alright? Uh-oh. Sure. The land here is pretty nice. We could hit the Atraxa. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Adriano. Adriano is one of my favorite people to interact with. Namely because he's very nice, in my opinion, and also a very strong Magic player. Alright, they put the Devourer. If they get the, if they have the Soul Cauldron, I don't think I'm gonna play Scared, am I? Yeah, let's not play Scared. Then I'm forced to block, but I can still block. Not a big issue. The fact that they got the Devourer makes me believe they probably have the Cauldron though. Yeah. Sure. I think I'm gonna do this. Fiend is probably pretty good. They're probably gonna. So they're gonna make them both Devours, and we're gonna have to double block. That's like kind of annoying. I guess we get the Artisan. Well, maybe not. We have the. Well, we can get the Landlord too. Like, actually, yeah, that's fine. This is like very awkward. Oh, good luck in the Super Qualifier though. Yeesh. That's super obnoxious. So it's really strange. I think they missed it last turn that they could have done it. I have not demoted, unless you're talking to about Adriano. Sure. I think we're dead, right? Like, I think they have the combo. Oh, that's annoying. I'm not sure anything could have really been done about this. And why I say that is because if we have tick down with the Gris, like we have no board presence, they put the welder in. Uh, yeah, for sure. Hey, Lawrence, long time. Also, I'll scoop for the chat equity too. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna try to high roll, I think maybe just like the Turbo Muxus route would have been better. Like we definitely had an angle to interact with. Our hand was just a little bit slower this game. Um, like we didn't have the endurance when we needed it. And they had the three card combo, right? Which is what this essentially is. Like Agatha, Engineer, and then Ballista. It's the it's a Phyrexian Devourer like in the Painter shell. So I think they took the Painter shell, just added the Phyrexian Devourer and Ballista combo. Much so I know about this combo because of my EDH days. This was like a kill in the Mymeoplasm. It's like a reanimator way to win, I guess. I'm aging myself there, I guess, right? But so I know about it because of the Mimeoplasm, and that was like a way to win back in the day. Same thing with Lawrence, I guess. All right, we'll just take out. I think is this a matchup? I forgot if I want Wasteland in this matchup. I feel like probably not. Yeah, I think the extra green source could be relevant. Um, Not to mention they like often have Magus. Snuff out. I like boarding in like two just to keep them honest. I used to board in zero because they can name black with Painter, but I think you lose some equity if you do that. Yeah, I agree with that. Invigorate gets a little more interesting since they're on Bolt. Right, yeah. I don't think you want four, just in case they like. I don't think we want Crop either because of Magus and just like. I think the post board games tend to be kind of grindy. So you're gonna one for one each other a lot. This is like this is worse when they move to Source of Plowshares, but it's a little bit more interesting against Mono Red. I just think the rest of our deck is like pretty good, and I think given that they're on the graveyard stuff, I think we just want the full set of endurance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Invigorate's not really for this matchup. It's like for the Moon Stompy matchups. It's like insane against Grixis Delver. It's like it's a pack of negation, right? I think we keep here. Mono red, I'm referring to like Moon Stompy, Sticker Goblin, like anything with Sticker Goblin. It's good against like Lightning Bolt decks. It's like obscene against Grixis Delver. The fact that they are the tempo deck, but then they're behind on tempo is kind of like awful for them, right? Like they play. Let's just say they're even on the play, right? They go turn one. Let's just say DRC, and you play your turn one Doric. They go turn two Bowmasters. You invigorate. There's a chance they just lose on the spot, like because now they just spent two mana and did nothing, and now you're like tapping out for whatever, or worse, if they try to Bowmasters your 1/1 Phenarzen, they lose on the spot. Is my experience. If you have it and they don't have the days of the force, and even if they do, they're probably behind. But if they don't have, they just lose on the spot. So Adriana, you played the sticker goblin in mono red prison. That's interesting. Like what are you wrapping into? I thought that deck just wants three drops. I guess like Shatter Skull smashing is like pretty good, but I feel like that's more of a luxury, right? But then again, Adriano's had more reps on mono red than me. I've played that like only a handful of times in my life. It's kind of funny because my EDH deck is kind of like a mono red prison deck. All right, we're gonna thin first before we once, just like good heuristics. Sometimes that changes, but like I won't go into like when you do what. I think we just get FA here, right? Oh, I see. Okay, sure. Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. Snowfound is like one of your best cards against that deck. I think here it's either endurance block their thing or run these two out but lose to Fury. I don't think we do that. Um, I think we just block the thing. I don't really like running out Phenors in turn 2 against these red decks. Yeah, I think Scam is like still decent. I think like obviously I'm always a always a recruiter Adriana, but I think our deck is pretty good too because I think it lines up well against a lot of the stompy decks. Um, Interesting. I think we do it in response, so they can't. I think we turn on our potential snuff out. I don't want them to put in the welder. Is the reason. Are they gonna bash? No. Is it any good, or was it just a flavor week thing? Yeah, I feel like these Delver decks are just really good in leagues because everybody's jamming combo, right? Um. All right, how do I want to do this? All right, this is kind of free. If they Fury me, I only want them to hit 2. But I think we want to draw it out. I'm not going to play the Noble here because there's just no need. And then we have a 3/4 Reclaimer. Sure. Actually, okay, that was a mistake. I forgot about the Cauldron doing that. So maybe they could just like sweep us here, but it is what it is. Now I actually regret not playing the Hierarch. Because let's see what they do here. Sure. Ugh, that is I think it's kind of problematic. I could double block. Yeah, let's do that. It's not great, but I think we gotta get this off the board too. And we're gonna lose the Reclaimer anyways. Oh my god, really? Jesus Christ. They should have done it earlier. I feel, oh man, that's like kind of greedy, but like we walk. Man. And we did not draw well. I feel like they do that earlier, so I can't block. I don't understand. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? Like I mean, it got us, but like they could have done it earlier, so they don't even give us a line. Maybe they just missed it. I think we just don't attack. Yeah, not sure what we can do really, to be honest. It's actually really rough now because the Kiki Jiki is gonna take over the game. I think it's already over. Like quite frankly, right? They make a second broadside and then one pitches the other, so it's probably over. Uh, so it's funny. I think we should have. One thing we could have considered here is, well, I guess we didn't know they had this too. That's the other thing, right? Like, I don't think we saw this game one. I had to look to be sure. Let's see. No, we did see it. Maybe because we saw it game one. We're supposed to know to board in the invigorate. So maybe we needed to adjust accordingly. It's already over, but I'm just like thinking about how we can improve if we ever run into this deck again. All right, I'm gonna concede for everybody's life equity. Like, what is our out here? Like, do we concede here? Like what do we even have? So like, snuff out is an out, I guess maybe, and not really even. Because they just blow up whatever we get, right? Yeah, let's. I guess we should we do we assume that they know how to finish this game? Actually, Lawrence already said it earlier. We'll just concede for life equity, right? Let's do that. We just if we assume our opponent knows what to do. Yeah. All right. I think the mistake we made is probably not boarding in the invigorates. I think if I had to do it again, I probably should board out the Fiend Artisans because it's probably too slow. They're kind of like an all-in combo deck. Ugh, that's not really what I want. This has a one drop, but I hate leading with Shepherd. It's like horrible. This is a lot better. We put the basic back because we just want to grow Reclaimer faster. Oh, are they on Oops All Spells? Oh, that'd be hilarious. And we happen to have the Endurance in our head. Sure. I mean, there's a decent chance they have like packaging in their hand too. I'm just hoping that's not the case here. I think they do though. Bummer. They have two cards in hand. I mean, it's probably one is probably pack negation. I see three already. One, two. Yeah. All right, we're gonna die here, but we have to hope. Yeah. Well, nothing you can do about that. I don't expect to play against Oops, but I guess with the all access pass, like it's probably pretty. Sure. If Thassa's Oracle, we're just dead. I just concede. At least it's quick. We're gonna board in actually the Nature's Killing because we know they have Leyline Sanctity. Our deck is pretty vulnerable to Leyline Sanctity. That's too slow, I think. What are we boarding here? Oops, all spells. Oh, it looks like we keep in the Phenars. Like, what are we getting though with it? I feel like just hoofing them is better than like trying to Phenars in. I'm gonna call audible here and do that. Everything else, the rest seems bad here. Well, the rest can take their mana. It just doesn't seem like what I want. Especially if we know they have Leyline Sanctity. Ugh. The problem is this has no pressure. I think we have them all. I think we might have to mull this as well. Unless we're keeping crop rotation up. I don't think it gets better than that though, to be honest. Okay. What ley line? I think we probably lost. It's hard for us to beat that card. Oh, actually, it makes sense why they're on Oops now. They're double queuing with the Lost Caverns sealed league. We're gonna pause here as if we're tanking on the Force of Vigor, and then allow it through. So it just gives them something to think about. Although they might just play into it, I guess, if they're double queuing. Sure. We're dead. Does the Dread return their yard? That's all we need to check. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like good and bad, right? Like, it's good because it's over pretty quickly. It's bad because it just feels like your decisions don't matter. Like, you either win or lose based on opening hands. and really the games, at least in my experience, just kind of play themselves. Which, I mean, it could be your cup of tea, which is it's not what I enjoy personally. I think we mull this. Oh, yeah. I do think we messed up boarding wise against that like the Soul Cauldron Painter deck for what it's worth. I think we misboarded. Oh god. Is man. I don't really know what I'm supposed to like play around here. Like these decks usually have Fury, so that's like something to be scared of. Maybe I just hold the Green Sun. It was tough because we opened with double endurance, and in the dark, it's not really what I want to keep. Like 4 lands is already a mulligan, and the second endurance is like almost like a mulligan, unless you know you're like against an reanimator or something. Jeez, yeah. Yes, ma'am. Sure. Oh, I think I messed up. I think I'm supposed to fetch. Oh, it's too late though. I think I'm supposed to fetch with Arbor and block. I think they're gonna tick down. Yeah, that was a mistake on my behalf. I gave them an extra draw when I didn't need to. That was bad. All right. That was bad. That was my bad. See, I blocked. They screwed up first because I think they're supposed to do that main phase. They got like greedy for one extra attack. If I block there, then they have to tick down the lumberjack, right? Which is like they don't get the draw. I think they have to block here. Might have been a misplay by me too. There's a chance I'm supposed to just get over claimer there. But well, like just misplays on both sides right now. I like through this game, but my opponent punted too, to be fair. What in the world is going on? My god, I'm gonna lose this deck. Funny thing is, natural order bails me out here on my misplay. There's a natural order, but like. One thing about the all access pass is it's even more coin flip, like whether you're gonna get a suitable testing. Okay, something's. What to do? What to do? I think we're just dead. I'm trying to think if anything would have. The big misplay was not forcing the tick down from the opponent, and then like we gave them an extra draw step that probably snowballed this game. Like they gotta see one deeper every time. Not to mention we're against this deck. We have all blanks because we don't build our deck with this in mind, right? Like we have four. Let's see. I think if you block with draw, they just tick up instead. Um, Actually, I don't know. It's like pretty dangerous for our opponent to leave a Fiend Artisan on the board. I don't know if that's maybe they do, but it's hard to say. The problem is that we're gonna die to this next turn, and I don't think we have an out. I think we're just dead here. For pretty discouraging. We started 2-0. I think we're gonna lose like maybe 3 in a row here to like off meta decks. I think we're just boring our removal. They probably. I think the invigorates are probably gonna be good. I suspect they're gonna have like Furies post board. Wasteland felt pretty awful there. But maybe we just keep in a cheese. Actually, Caracas is like relevant against their mints. Yeah, yeah, Caracas is decent, I think. What do we want here? Maybe the hook just to kill them before they kill us, like randomly. I feel like Atraxa probably gets there in most circumstances. Like we have so many dead cards against them right now. Like I don't think we need. I think Atraxa probably wins. So no hoof. It's like playing against Moonstoppy kind of, right? That's one bad thing about I'm gonna play around this. There's a chance they're a Blood Moon deck, so I'm gonna play around that. That's like one good and bad thing about like leagues, right? You can, play at your own convenience, which I do, and like, because I don't have much time. The problem with that is like, I don't know how valid some of the testing is sometimes. Obviously, it's like worthwhile because the Eternal Weekend lists were that that people got from me were based on these leagues, and then we had two pilots make the top four of two of the three Eternal Weekends, but sometimes you get like this and you just feel like you're wasting your time. I messed up. I probably should play Cradle. I don't think it really matters here. What it does is, yeah, I don't think it matters in this exact circumstance. If we draw Cradle, I'm sorry, a natural order, then it matters because then we could play, like, Atraxa can draw Cradle into Cradle, but that's about it. Let's go 4 to Grist, maybe? Let's see how they do it. Sure. Can't pump Grist, unfortunately. So this is where the thing matters, right? Like, I would have had a Cradle already in play. Halfling? Card seems loose. Okay. Even better, I guess. So yeah, I think I boarded out the hoof, which relevant here. I think to be mana efficient, I'm just gonna do this. Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh my god, really? Shit. Well. And we only have the one grist too. Yeah, this is like awful for us. Yeah, I cannot believe. They're like splashing 3 colors. Man. And it just so happened the one grist that we have that players around it is already in our hand. Well, man, it really makes me want to play another league, given how this game is going. But I don't know if I want to subject myself to this again either. Return late. Three. We gonna get a Traxa, I guess. Oh, we'll do, Lawrence. I'm glad to hear you're doing well, by the way. Actually, I messed up. I should have activated and then retained priority. That was a misplay on my behalf. So they can't respond to the activation, right? So they can't respond with removal. Unless they have a second one. Oh my god. But yeah, I'll hit you up for sure, Lawrence. Mm. Then Cradle, Artisan, Green Sun. And that's it. Now that we've seen what, I think we want Hoof in the deck as a way to actually win in case they like have swords plowshares. Food chain. What the heck is going on? I am like truly lost now. I don't know what's going on. I feel like we just lost. Like, what the heck is going on? Like, they're gonna chain into Fierce Empit, and then we're just dead here. This is kind of nuts. I think this is a sign from the Magic Gods. It's time to go back to the break. Like, and allow the all the all access people to play against each other. We should be dead, right? I feel like they have the combo. Unless I'm missing something. So that should get Squee. They have infinite mana, and then they can get the Torsten, and I feel like that's the kill, right? Yeah. Let's say small. The problem is we can't kill, right? Like I don't know what I'm playing against this deck, and then that's part of the problem. I boarded wrong. Like we lost the Mince and Boo beats. Hey Ramon, how's it going? Yeah, I don't. What is going on? Shouldn't this be like I don't? I'm like confused. Like, where's the kill? What is going on? How do they not have the kill? Okay, now they have infinite mana. Well, they did earlier, but like maybe they just whiffed. If they, did they show me a win condition yet? They're like their Torsten like missed. Okay, they have that, but that's not even a kill either. Like I'm like really confused. Okay, they can deal 4 to like maybe my Fiend Artisan or something. What is going on? Oh, they're gonna make a huge questing druid. Okay, sure. But again, that's still not lethal. Like I don't. I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on here. I can't even concede because like they don't have the kill. What? But they can't. They don't have the mana. Mince is not a creature. Like okay, they've had. Very strange. Can't block. Okay. We could like. It's not even. Okay. Like, maybe they kill my Fienders or something. I think what the heck is going on. It's by CMC, so they can't even like fling the questing druid. Alright, they kill the Fiend Artisan. Do we care? I feel we allow it because we need to kill in 2 turns. Right? Like, if we invigorate, suddenly we can't kill in 2 turns. We have 8. I think we have lethal. Let me just make sure. That's 9. Yeah, I think we have lethal. And a very strange game. Oh my god. Yeah, it's I didn't even think about it. We're like 1 off from the just in killing in 1 turn. Just get the other hierarch, right? Hierarchs are OP. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't. How do you have your full combo and you don't kill? That doesn't make any sense. I feel like the deck is misbuilt. Like maybe they just didn't know Miss and Boo. You can't cast it. Like and they're trying to fling and they can't. Like I should not have won that game. Like because I didn't know what they were on too. All right, now we know. Hey Tim, how's it going? Yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on there. I felt like we should have lost and somehow we didn't lose. Endurance is pretty good, I think. I think we have the hoof backing because we need a kill now. Um, they're like a food chain deck, so we want the Nature's Claim now. I don't even love the Gris. Actually, Gris may be okay. Didn't feel like the Wastelands are good against them. Bore that out. I feel like against a ramp deck, we don't really want to seize. But I don't know. I'm like really confused what's going on the other side. Do I want the crawl rotation just as an extra cradle? Probably like we saw they're not probably not a Blood Moon deck because and I think we probably want Snuff Out on against their like the ramp engine. Did not feel like we're supposed to win that game. It's like a very situational hand. Sure, we'll try it. Sure. Also, I'm kind of surprised that they're playing Lumberjack in this metagame, like with Bowmasters. But say la vie, right? Maybe another one? Oh, looks like a containment freeze here. They furious? Is that what's gonna happen? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I was thinking about that remark. Maybe it's like I need to wait till Tuesday to play because I was hoping to test, but not against this. Um, they haven't like done anything yet. I don't think we want to run out the Fiend Artisan. I think we're just gonna pretend like we have natural order next turn and then force them to sweep. It's a containment freeze. Nope. My hand was kind of loose, but I don't think I really care. Sure. That is annoying. So we know they don't have the Fury because they would have used it. I actually tapped wrong. I think I needed to tap the Hierarch there in case they rushed with the Bombardiers, but they didn't, which is strange. Because they need to hit the Arbor if they want us to not attack. Oh, sure. We can't stop it, but maybe we can limit its damage. So what are they getting now? Containment for sure. Probably hard cast it to make use of their mana so they don't die. We're one short. I think we just passed. The unfortunate part is the containment priest prevents us from ramping because we can't get Arbor. Sure. I think we do it now. We should have probably done it after combat, or sorry, done it here at the end of combat. They probably don't attack. They probably don't attack it regardless, but. Mm, or do we want? I guess we want to draw land. Should be lethal. I don't feel like we're supposed to win this game, but like somehow we did. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like our deck's not built to play against that in any way. Actually, one nice thing is we did see like Nature's Claim is better in this matchup than it is like Force of Nature. I mean, Force of Vigor. Force of Nature is the old green card. Um, we lost to Painter here. We scooped a little early, but I think we probably were dead, assuming our opponent knows what to do. And we lost to Oops Off Spells. We beat Sneak and Show here, and we beat 8 Cast. I think the deck felt pretty good. I'm not. If we lose to Oops, we lose to Oops. I'm not really metagaming against that deck. Against Painter, I think we misboarded, but live and learn. Let's see. Wasteland was kind of not great this league, for what it's worth. Everything else I think was happy with. I think the Nature's Killing were really good in this last kind of like rogue matchup. And then the Snuff Outs, and then I think the Thoughtseize. I think everything else was like pretty solid. Anybody have any questions? Here are my socials again. Ramar, we gotta do a stream one of these days once you're free. I know you've been on the Goblin binge, but sure, Adrian, go shoot for it. Also, it doesn't have to be about this deck too. If you have any, it could be any question really. Good question, Adrian. I don't know. I don't think you followed the deck much when Lord of the Rings came out. Well, I had some people start with like 4 copies. That was immediately like too much. Some people, when I tried it myself, I started with 3 copies. Didn't feel like I wanted to draw it all the time, so I like settled on 2 for a while. And the first Eternal Weekend top 4 list played 2 because that's what I played at the time. What I came to realize is, as the meta game has shifted, more and more decks, namely the Stompy decks, just don't care about the Bowmasters. Neither does something like Lands or Green White Depths, which has declined a lot. And even D&T, in my opinion, like they don't really care either because Thalia is not that great against us to start off with. Um, so at the time, also with the Simon's first top 4 list for the European Eternal Weekend, we had only 6 dorks. Well, at the time I was going up to eight, like starting to test it. He only played 6 because he just hadn't seen the dork list yet. I think Bowmasters in the context of Cradle, it's almost win more in my opinion. Like I don't think you really need it. You beat the tempo decks anyways, and what it does is it opens you up to non-basic hate. Like I don't really like to fetch Bayou unless you absolutely have to, and I think you're gonna beat those decks anyway. Uh, and actually, it's it adds variance to the deck in a negative way, in my opinion. The more I play with it, and the more I play with the eight hierarchs, I think hierarchs are almost always better, and they actually help the game plan because you're a Cradle deck, you're a Fiend Artisan deck, and to some extent, you're also a natural order deck, right? Bowmasters against something like Tempo is probably where it's at its best, but I don't think it's better than a Mana Dork. So if it's not better than Mana Dork there, and I don't think in a lot of the like the Stompy matchups is like pretty bad too, in my opinion. So I think it's unnecessary is probably the right word. Obviously, it does things like the first copy in particular is nice to close out some games against Delver. Like you hit their DRC off of Fiend Artisan, it's probably game over. Or you hit their like Delver Secrets, it's probably game over. Um, and you don't always have 3 mana to get Endurance. Is the other reason it gives you like a decent 2 mana target. But you're not gonna lose many games where you untap with Fiend Artisan. Now, it has some text against control as well, but I don't think it's better than say like a Gris or like a Haymaker bomb like Magus of the Moon or a Godok T, right? Like and Godok T you can fetch off green. Magus obviously being a bomb against the 4C decks. So the long story short is I just don't think it's good enough against. There's better options is probably what is probably the best way to explain it. Like because in a mono green shell, like you have your best mana base, and I don't really think it really improves any of the matchups. And in my opinion, worse against Tempo than the Mana Dorks, which is what I added for the Bowmasters. The first copy does a lot if you want to play it. I just don't think it's necessary. I like being able to beat Blood Moon and Wasteland game one, which this list does. And I don't think it's good enough as a sideboard card. I'd rather just play free spells in the sideboard. Um, so that's kind of the short story. Uh, did that answer your question, Adriano, or hopefully that was like sufficient? I had like some people answer me. Like I think a lot of people who don't. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so the one issue with that is it's not green, so you can't even pitch the token, right? Like there's an argument to be made, like if your opponent doesn't really know your deck, they can like target, they can try to kill the Bowmasters, because it's another threat. But I'd rather have a real other threat that doesn't rely on your opponent, overestimating the card, so to speak, right? I think it's at its best against Tempo, but I don't think it's better than Mana Dorks. Is really the problem with that card. Sometimes you can create more with Cradle, and like I said, it's really nice if you need to kill an X ones, but X ones are like few and far between because of Bowmasters in general. So because of just the way the metagame has shaped out, I just don't think Bowmasters has many targets anymore because most of the decks either overload on X ones, like we do, like we have a bunch still, or they just don't have any, right? Like, and that's kind of the problem. I think it's dead a lot of times now. And I don't think I want to play 2 mana, Mog War Marshal, right? Like that's off color. You can't pitch it to natural order is kind of a problem. Um, and if you draw it against like lands, it's just awful. Or even any of these stompy decks, right? I don't want to play against initiative or like any bombardier deck and draw 2 mana 1/1 more or less or Mog War Marshal, right? Yeah, but if anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask, or you can just ping me or DM me anytime. Um, but yeah, I'm glad that answered your question, Adriano. Uh, yeah, I think people forget it's not green, right? Like I know Natural Order Fuel is always free, but yeah, it's awkward when they just like don't have any cantrips that just ignore you, just like wasted a card, so to speak, right? Because we don't have Brainstorm, one of the things I really value is having all the cards be alive. Now, the obvious question is like, oh, then why are you playing Endurance main deck? The reason why I'm doing that is because it's the most flexible card that can be boarded out. What I mean by that is like, sure, if you make your cards all good main deck, the problem is then which cards are you dumping sideboard, right? Like to bring in either the Snuff Outs or the Thought Seizes or even the for invigorates, which I get asked a lot. Why invigorate over like, Legolas's quick reflexes, right? I think people don't realize how good free is, and our deck is a tap out deck. Like we can't really afford to leave one mana up all the time because we think they might play a removal spell or something. So, and also the secondary thing is invigorate is significantly better against the stompy decks, whereas Legolas's quick reflexes pretty much does nothing against those decks. So it's twofold, right? One, free is important, and two, the mapping matters. Like we want this for the stompy decks. So that's like a pretty common question I get. All right. Adriano. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad that I got a chance to have you on here in chat. It's good to see. I hope you're doing well. Obviously, Romario and I we'll have a stream pretty soon. If there are no other questions, I will go ahead and raid. Looks like let's try Samsung I1, and then all right. Hopefully this was informative tonight. Oops. And then I know we went 3-2, but I think we misplayed in one. Granted, with no guarantee we would have won it. And then oops, I'm just gonna accept losing that matchup. All right, good night, everyone. And then we're gonna raid Samson I1 here, only because I try to raid people who are just starting up. And thanks again for hanging out tonight.